Hey guys, we're going live on Facebook today, and we've got an interesting father-son story with the Marine Corps. And this is actually Josh's father. He was actually a Marine, and come another long line of veterans here. Josh is a third-generation veteran, and I just wanted to. This is actually Josh's father. He's actually a Marine. Sorry, guys, be back there. I just wanted to share, his story a little bit, and what they're doing, and how they're all about inspiring children. I've got 3 children of my own. And I'd love to hear a little bit of your background story you're about to share with me about where you got started in the Marine Corps and how Josh got into the Marine Corps.
Are you talking to me? I'm sorry. You're talking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So my father was in the Army Air Force back when the 2 services. I guess the Air Force was part of the Army. And service has always been kind of important. I got to put these on. I can't see. And
where are you right now, by the way?
I am at the VA Medical Center. So going in for some surgery here in a couple minutes. So
Hoorah.
Yeah. Anyways, but service has always been kind of an important part of our family. And Josh was born while I was actually active duty. So he spent his first year at the end of a military runway, which probably is the reason why he sleeps so soundly to this day. But anyways, after 18 years of talking Marine Corps, he came to me after his wrestling season was over his senior year and informed us that he was joining the Marine Corps. So we're quite proud of him, and the rest of the story is his.
So Josh, I know that's not all the story. What's your version?
I would say that the Marine Corps is always something that got really encouraged by my dad and disencouraged by my mom. I think it was something that I think my dad always painted a very amazing picture of, and my mom kind of viewed the Marine Corps as a really great thing, but not something that she was fully wanting to send her son into. Exactly. I think the Iraq War and the Afghanistan War were something that kind of worried her a little bit. But I think eventually they, when I signed up and I was heading off, I think it was something that they were really proud of. They were really supportive while I was in. They always, they were the number one fans wherever I went. So it was nice to kind of have their support and have them on my team. So.
And on a side note, as a father, when your son comes to you and says that everything he's been able to enjoy in his life, and he sees everyone else going out to defend that, and the fact that he did have 4 younger sisters at home, he just felt that it was his obligation to go do his part. So I was very proud.
That's awesome. I've got a young son myself. He's just turned 10. And I remember when I think he was just like in kindergarten, he did this little project at school, and he came home and he had this, what's he want to be when he grows up? And when he was really young, he used to say, I want to be a Marine. He couldn't say M. But no, that's awesome. I appreciate you guys sharing that. Now, Josh, how did you get started? Because I know it wasn't the easy road and stuff like that. Becoming an entrepreneur, going into that field, you had this passion project around the book.
Yeah, I'd say my dad always really encouraged going out and taking risks and finding new opportunities. And one of the first things that I ever did was I had a landscaping company. So I went out and I purchased a truck and I purchased all the tools, and I employed a huge group of my friends, and we went out and we did these amazing large projects as a high school student, and it kind of set a little bit of a spark in my heart for going out and kind of taking those risks. And that kind of carried out throughout my teen years and into my adult life. When I was actually in the service, I bought my first rental property, and I kind of made sure that I was constantly kind of trying to start up some type of cash flow. I was a big fan of Robert Kiyosaki. He writes the Rich Dad, Poor Dad books, and he's also a Marine, and he's an amazing author. So if anyone hasn't read his books, I highly encourage you to do so, because it really kind of set my mindset. The project that I'm working on right now, it started roughly 3 years ago while my wife was pregnant. One of the things I picked up in the Marines is you're always going to be the best. You strive to be the best whenever possible. You do whatever you can to be the best. And so when I found out that my wife was pregnant, I was determined I'm going to be the best father and parent possible. So what I did was I went out and I read tons of articles and research on how to be the best parent. And a reoccurring theme was constantly read to your children. Just read to them nonstop. Keep them off electronics. Read to them, read to them, read to them. So I kind of dug into that topic, and I found out that books for daughters are kind of limited in the image that they portray. And it's pretty common to find a princess book for a daughter, but it's not very common to find a hero in a children's book that has a female protagonist. So I decided that I was going to write a children's book like that, and what I thought was going to be an afternoon project turned into a 2-year adventure. And shortly after I started this, I found that a lot of the presents that we were getting had some type of battery or light or flashing or beeping. And I realized that our children are kind of moving into this digital age where they're getting away from the constantly being outside playing with sticks and rocks and wrestling around and climbing trees, and moving more towards a period where they're doing a lot of electronics. And it kind of, I think it kind of takes away a little bit of like the warrior in your children when they're constantly relying on some type of stimulation that isn't going out and doing it with your own hands. It kind of changes your children. And along that line, I decided that I was going to tie some type of, I'm calling it I'm marketing it kind of as a costume to some people, but really it's more of like a uniform. You kind of get to put your children in something that resembles the main character in the book. So I'm calling it a story suit, and it kind of gives you a way to dress your children up as the hero in the story, and it kind of, I think it helps them change their mindset and kind of puts them in a different atmosphere when you have that ability to do that.
So I saw, is that the costume that you sent me the picture of?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So I have a sample here. Basically, I'm gearing it towards 2, 3, and 4-year-olds. Children at a very, very young age start picking up social norms and confidence, and those years kind of project what they will do and be for the rest of their lives. And I really think that setting them on the right path at a young age kind of puts them into places where they wouldn't be able to get to otherwise.
No, I completely agree. And I think that's one of the big things about, being a parent. I've got 3 young kids myself, and reading to them is huge because it's basically at that age group, you're programming their mind, and what it is they're going to become. So if you don't give them the opportunities to become a hero, you're constantly telling stories about men being heroes. And as, women are growing up, they're like, okay, where's my hero? Or when's this guy going to show up? Well,
yeah,
you read this kid books, your daughter's books, their whole life about that some guy's going to show up for them eventually and take care of them. Then you're programming the wrong way. I mean, I constantly, not just talking about how beautiful my daughters are, but also how strong they are. So I completely agree with what you're saying. Now, with that being said, what are some of the lessons that you took away from the Marine Corps that got you started down this path? If you were going to say, there's obviously a drive behind what you do, and I know it's not easy. I know you're working, full-time job as well. And you started this as a passion project, but now it's become much more. And I just want to put a plug in. Where do they go? They go on Kickstarter.
Yep. If you go to Kickstarter.com and you search Storysuits, it'll pull up the campaign. Right now we're about 50% funded, and we have about just shy of 2 weeks left to go. So we're chugging along.
Cool. And we'll put the link and stuff like that in the notes here, and you can put the link up as well. So as you're working, your full-time job and stuff like that, what's been the underlying drive behind why you're doing what you're doing?
My main drive right now is to basically do everything in my power to have the most badass daughter I can. I think, a lot of people talk about wanting to make their sons kind of the hero on the football team. And I think sometimes people run the risk of not investing enough time into their daughters. And I think they're equally as important and kind of have the cards stacked against them. I mean, sometimes, I'm not saying everyone does, but I mean, it's more likely that your daughter is going to have the cards stacked against her than your son. And I mean, your goal as a parent should be just to, knock it out of the park whenever possible. And this project is kind of one of my ways that I plan on doing that. So, you asked earlier, or just right before that, lessons I picked up in the Marines. And I'd say one of the best things that I picked up was, whenever possible, make sure that you have the best team available. I was in the service with some of the most amazing women and men that I can speak of, and having a team of people that have your back and that are the experts in their field and whatever they have to do, that makes just about any issue that would arise easy to deal with. And I think I picked up the importance of a good game plan. You kind of have to make sure that you have every scenario in place for anything that might pop up. And that's been really helpful, because I've kind of gotten myself into a couple of different situations that I wasn't completely sure of how I was going to handle. So, I have a team of people in place that are helping see this project through. And I also have a really good game plan written out for how we're going to handle everything. So it's been helpful, and so far everything's been working like it should. So,
what are some of the lessons you've learned? There's no failure in what you do in life. There's only feedback for possibly not getting the results you were looking for. What's some of the feedback you've gotten from starting this passion project of creating Storysuits?
I'd say one of the feedbacks and lessons that I've picked up is you need to reach out to everyone and anyone. Even the smallest person who might seem insignificant ends up being a really good lead or a really good teammate or someone who's willing to invest in your project. And I think I said you want to have the best team available, and I think sometimes people also kind of try only to reach out to the best, but I think you need to take every single person you come in contact with as someone who is possibly going to be able to add some type of value to what you're doing, or give you a certain angle to look at what you're doing and kind of modify your game plan. This process has been very fluid. I have a written out game plan, but it's definitely been, I've had to decide to modify it whenever possible and to kind of invest and change whatever I need to change on the spot.
I think that's called adapting and overcoming.
Yeah, it's definitely adapting and overcoming. I mean, and it's work though. I mean, if you stick to what's written down in the game plan, sometimes you're going to miss some really good opportunities out there. So you definitely have to modify. You definitely have to roll with the punches. And there's been a couple times during this project where I've been ill-equipped and I had to reach out and invest in a new part of the team or a new person. And, when I started this project, I was going to dump $20 into it and walk away with what I thought was going to be this wonderful project. And that's not how it works. You have to invest. You have to take on the risk. You have to take on the pain. You have to kind of push through it. And it's definitely been a positive adventure, but it's definitely been eye-opening. And it's definitely been been a little painful at times.
Sounds like boot camp.
Yeah, I would definitely say that. It's
What are some of the lessons that you learned from your dad from growing up?
I would say, so my dad has a thing that he calls fire friends. And what a fire friend is, it's the person you can call on when you're in a burning house and they're going to come get you. And that has definitely impacted my outlook and my group of friends that I keep. You know, you're going to find yourself at sometimes in a burning house, and if you don't have anyone that's going to come in and get you, your life is not where it should be. I mean, you need to have that core group of people that are going to come into that burning house and come get you. And I'm not saying that you should build your friendships on who can help you out and who's going to come and pat you on the back and keep you safe, but you definitely need to kind of structure your life so that you're surrounded by the people that actually care for you and love you. And that's kind of definitely modified my entire life. We got a group of friends, and I would say I got about 20 people that I, without a doubt, would rush into a building for me. And you got 20 people that rush into a building for you, that's all you need in life.
It's like a platoon minus right there. You're
good. You don't need anything else. You got those 20 core friends, you're set. I mean, there's nothing that can go in front of you and you can't accomplish it. You know, it's that's the biggest lesson for sure.
Now you shared with us that you've got you've had some lessons along the way. You've had to reach out to some teammates. What are some things you had to invest in along the way that you weren't expecting to? Some of the things that kind of popped up and you're like, oh shit.
You know, I thought I was going to be able to make a video by myself. And the video that I had originally thought up was, you know, once it was in front of me, was just crap. It didn't really reflect what we were hoping to do, what our brand was, what our mission was. And I reached out to a couple editors and a couple people that do videos and do marketing, and we kind of threw together a video. And I think it kind of tries, my hope for the video was that it captures a mixture of the playfulness of what we're doing, but also where our heart is, what our goal is, what we hope to accomplish, what our mission is. And, you know, you need to have a team of people to make a video. You sit down and record something on your phone and it's going to miss the mark. And the video is kind of the first thing that people look at when they're on Kickstarter. It kind of gives them a feel for who you are, what you're doing, what your hopes and dreams are. Along that line, I also kind of, I realized that the learning curve for doing something like this is going to be very great. So what I've done is I've reached out to people that have gone through this process before. So I've had a lot of good, I've been a student, you could say, with this process, and I've picked up a lot of knowledge that way. And that's been really helpful because the people that have gone through this process have picked up a skill set that you can't really pick up from a Google search. The only way you can pick it up is by listening to somebody's story and kind of picking up what they've picked up and trying to put their bag of tools on your back and use it. And that's been really helpful. You got to go through the people that know the skill set, and so that's the only way you're going to be able to pick it up.
Kind of recap some more gold nuggets, right? Is you've got, number one, you start out with Robert Kiyosaki, obviously. I mean, that guy changed my life. I mean, no doubt. I read that book back in 2000. Actually, didn't read the book. I had it. This is hilarious. I had half a cassette in the car. I didn't have this back when you had to have cassettes, you know, I mean, one of those things, right? You probably don't even know what they are. And we had half of it, and I don't know where the other half was. So I went, and I had nothing else to listen to in the car. The radio was like not worth a damn. So I put it in. I'm like, what's this, right? And I was done. I was like, I got to the end of that cassette, and I was like, where's the other tape? Right? So I had to go. I had to actually go down to the bookstore. I didn't know there was this place called Barnes and Noble. They had books in there, right? So I go in there and before I know it, I got like a whole stack of books and I'm reading and stuff. And I was like, the person I was with had to rip me out of the store. I mean, I was in there, we were at 3 hours. You know, I was like, I had never been in Barnes & Noble before in my life, or a bookstore, frankly. So basically for me, what changed my life was just like the mindset side of it. And, you know, going into that in the sense of just opening up your mind to possibilities is then surrounding yourself with that information, because the information that's key, that changes things. Okay. So information, and then turn around and get your fire friends. I mean, that's an awesome lesson I learned. Thank you for, I've never put a name on that, but you know, that's amazing. I just call them my brothers, but fire friends, that's huge. Also investing in the right people, and then not trying to do this by yourself, you know, and then reaching out to get mentorship from other people. Those are all like huge, you know, huge notes to think about as you're growing your business, and huge notes like moving forward. And a lot of entrepreneurs will go through and not actually learn that. Unfortunately, they'll learn it the hard way. So that's something to think about, you know, is you're well on your way. Again, where can people go get the book? Or I want to get like, I mean, I think my daughter's too big to wear the outfit, but I mean, that would be like a killer, like Halloween costume as well. Cause I really like what you're doing and the passion you got behind it. Where do they go to learn more about you and kind of get out there and get the information on you, bud?
So it's on Kickstarter.com. It's just KICKSTARTER, Kickstarter.com. And if you search Storysuits, it'll come up. We're also on Facebook. If you go search Storysuits on Facebook, and we're at Storysuits.com. For people that are interested in this project, and you know this is something that you think you can get behind, we also have an option for pledging or backing a Kickstarter Storysuit book combo, and we're going to be donating them. And if you are interested and want to donate, you know, there's a lot of vet families out there that are kind of, it's a hard economic time right now. There's a lot of veterans out there that are not doing as well as they should be, just due to the way that the economy is. So our hope is to kind of take a bunch of these Storysuits and donate them. And there's a couple organizations that we're working with, so we can kind of target some veteran families that might benefit from having something like this. So one of the options is you can go on there and you can donate it. And if you have a certain organization that you want us to work with, you know, we're open for recommendations. Also, I mean, anyone that is willing to kind of just log on and give us their thoughts and let us know what you think, any type of opinions, we're always open to tweaking and looking at new opportunities. So feel free to reach out and let us know what you think. Absolutely.
So I mean, just think about that. I mean, that'd be great. Birthday gift, Christmas gift, or whatever. I've got my buddy. How big do the outfits come? I know they're
right now they're going 2T, 3T, and 4T, and maybe it's because of all the Marines I'm around, but I've been asked by quite a few people why we don't have this in an adult version. So I have a feeling that the Marines probably want to wear it for a different reason, but
yeah. All right. So does Senior Marine have any saved rounds for us? You are the oldest Marine out of the three of us.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Make sure he's on. You're not on mute, sir.
Oh, her volume's down. I can't hear.
Okay, I said, does the Senior Marine have any saved rounds? You are the Senior Marine out of the three of us.
Do I have any what?
Saved rounds. So.
Saved rounds. Oh, yes. Always.
Anything to add to your son's story and what he shared with us today?
Just that my wife's telling me to talk quieter. I get very excited.
Get excited. Have fun.
Yeah.
We're sitting in a waiting room with a lot of people right now.
Who cares?
The project, if you get a chance to take a look at it, is high quality. The artwork is beautiful. The story is it encourages the imagination, and I'm very proud of it. I'm also very proud of the little monkey that's running around in the back of the video, happens to be my granddaughter. And I would like to point out that the chainsaw was purchased by me. So take a look at the video. It's very entertaining. It's a great project, and I'm extremely proud of my son.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. And again, guys, I'm Josh, proud of you, Simplify to both of you. I look forward to ordering this. I've got a friend of mine actually that I'm going to be ordering this for, Mr. John Rude. He's out there. His dad is actually a hardcore Marine, and John was pretty close to, I'm sure, going into the Marine Corps himself at one time. So you post it. We're going to post the link on the page. Feel free, guys, to post comments and reply back to everybody on there. And guys, go out and get yourself a story suit. It's going to be epic. It's going to be cool, and it's going to be great for, you know, empowering young daughters out there as well.
Thank you for your time.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
I'll see you guys.
See you later.